time. What is time? Time is the only subjectively objective measurement on this earth. 1 hour in a dentist's chair feels exponentially longer than an hour on the beach or in nature. Yet a minute is a minute is a minute. Time is a force pushing ever onward, unbound and unfazed by this world. But what happens at the end? What happens when it all just stops? That's what we're going to explore in this video. Now, before we begin, it is important to note that the sections of this video reference various religions and their beliefs. These sections are an overview of these beliefs and are not necessarily representative of all beliefs throughout that particular religion. There is a substantial amount of variance and nuance that must be applied to this topic. Please keep these things in mind as you view this video. Now, please enjoy. Let's start with the definition. Eschatology is defined as the part of theology concerned with death, judgment, and the final destiny of the soul and humankind. This definition will be important throughout the video. Let's start with the eschatological beliefs of Buddhism. Modern Buddhist beliefs can be traced back to development in China. There are two major points of Buddhist eschatology. First is the appearance of a Buddhist god. Second is the Sermon of the Seven Sons. Buddha described how his teachings will disappear from the earth 4,000 years after his passing. This corresponds approximately with the theoretical year 4600 CE. At this time, knowledge of Dharma, or religious merit, will be lost. Next follows a period of lawlessness and all types of atrocities. This will be followed by the return of the next Buddha and the ensuing of a golden age. Next, we'll take a look at the beliefs of Hindu eschatology. It is believed that the world will end with the dissolving of an age, and a Hindu god will simultaneously dissolve and regenerate the universe. It is believed that we are currently in the fourth and final age of this cycle of regeneration. When we reach the end of the age, the world will dissolve and regenerate, thus beginning the cycle of birth, growth, and decay once more. Now, let's take a look at the beliefs of Islamic eschatology. There is general consensus among Muslim scholars that there will be tremendous and distinctive signs before the world ends. These signs will include trials and tribulations, and a time of immorality, followed by mighty wars. Then comes the appearance of the notable figures, such as the Mahdi and the second coming of Jesus Christ. Then comes the release of Gog and Magog. Now, we won't cover the specifics here, but Gog and Magog are essentially an end times prophecy that occurs in both the Judeo-Christian and Islamic eschatological beliefs. They are either a war, a people, or both. This is a highly debated topic that no one can really seem to agree on. Now, once all of these events are completed, the universe shall be destroyed, and every human being shall be resurrected and held accountable for their deeds. Now for the eschatological beliefs of Taoism. Taoism, or Taoism, depending on where you are, refers to a set of Chinese traditions and religions which emphasize living in harmony with Tao, or the natural order of the universe. Taoist texts describe the return of a Masonic figure who will take the faithful and destroy the rest of society and create a new society based upon Taoist teachings. There is some variance in these beliefs, but overall, this is the general idea. It is important to note that most Zoroastrian teachings don't put much emphasis on end times. However, there are still some general beliefs that we can cover. It is believed that evil shall be destroyed, and purified sinners will be renewed for eternity. A majority of Zoroastrians believe that humanity is in the final phase of 3,000 years. While most people do not put much emphasis on end times, it is still important that there is some beliefs around this time. This one is pretty simple. In Norse mythology, it is believed that every god shall join in a grand fight at the end of time. Then, the earth will fall into the sea, and life as we know it will cease to be. In this final section, we'll take a look at the Judeo-Christian beliefs of the end times. The two religions have very similar beliefs, with some slight theological differences. The first major event is the War of Gog and Magog. If you remember, this is similar to Islam. This war shall trigger the end of the Jewish exile. There will be a mass return of Jews to Israel after the war. Then, there will be a peace treaty signed that will trigger the rebuilding of the temple. After the temple, the Antichrist will arise. At this point, God will test the earth with trials and tribulations before his final return. Then, he will return and remake a new heaven and a new earth. Now, I'd like to take a moment to focus on one particular event along the Christian eschatological timeline. The rapture is a Christian belief that God will call his followers up to heaven before his final return. There is some debate about the timing of this event, but scholars largely agree that it will occur before Christ's final return. Now, I found this idea really fascinating and I wanted to explore it further. I wanted to ask the question, what would it look like if every Christian on the face of the earth just suddenly vanished, leaving only their earthly possessions behind? As you watch this, ponder what you've just learned and think about what it would be like to be left behind. What would it be like if drivers just suddenly vanished? If the pilots on your airplane were just gone?